Alright guys, welcome back to another G Auto Repair YouTube video. And today I'm gonna try to do a little something different for you guys. I'm going to do a little bit of more what goes on around the shop here on a day-to-day basis, trying different things out. And today we're working on this 2006 H2 Hummer H2, and this is in desperate need of all type of front end work, but we're gonna go ahead and do this in different phases because it gets out of hand real quick. So we're gonna have to do upper control arms, because need I say more? Look at that, that is jacked up. And lower ball joints as well. We also got to do pretty much replace all the steering joints and stuff, but that's probably gonna be at a later date down the road. We're just gonna handle the front suspension at this point, and then we'll take it as it comes. So let's go ahead and get started. Gonna be over here, you know, with you guys. If there's a little bit of wind noise, I apologize. I got the fan going. I'm sorry. It is hot down here in South Florida, so I gotta keep cool. If it's too much mumbo jumbo, then I guess you guys won't be seeing this video because it's too noisy. So we'll see what happens. We'll check it out. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to compress this caliper just enough so that I can remove it. Let me see, I may need the C-clamp. There, now that's enough. I just need to get it out of the way, but I'm not gonna do that just yet. What I am gonna do, and I left my safety goggles, which is a no-no. Okay, we're gonna loosen this tie rod here. There we go. Using a brass hammer. This is my favorite hammer, brass hammer. That is the best thing since sliced bread. See, there's some play in this inner tie rod joint. You know, this boot is all broken. A lot of people make a big deal about these boots being broken, and yes, they should not be broken because that protects the joint from mud, dirt, grime, stuff like that. That will accelerate the wear. But I mean, if people are that worried about it, I'll go ahead and replace it, but you just might as well put a new joint in there, because by the time this happens, there's some miles on the car, and I mean, how long is that joint gonna last anyway? So those are just my thoughts. You may or may not agree. That's okay. Let's agree to disagree. Alright, we're gonna loosen up this upper ball joint here. It's an 18 millimeter. I'm gonna loosen this bad boy up. Okay, so essentially, to get the big issue here is to get to this lower ball joint, because the upper control arm can be serviced without taking all of this stuff off. Is this rotating with it? Yes, it is. Oh my god, I hate it when it does that. Yeah, because now I gotta hold the stud and rotate it at the same time. Most of the time they just get stuck in there, so you can just loosen it, no big deal. Obviously this is not one of those, so I'm gonna just keep on moving. I'm gonna go ahead and lower or loosen this lower ball joint nut. It's a 24 millimeter. And as a matter of fact, it is just coming out. See that? But because it is coming out, that means I got to do the same thing here. The good thing is I don't have to struggle with this. It's all pretty much loose, so whatever. That's a good thing. Now I got to get tools to just hold the stud while I rotate the nut. So we're going to loosen this axle nut here. There we go. And now the nut is stuck in here. There we go. Alright, so I'm here by myself today because Alex is handling a different form of employment for the next couple of days. He's helping out some friends. So I told him to handle that over there while I do this. So it's good for him to get a little different aspects of life, different work. Okay, so the reason I was gonna leave this is because when I break this lower ball joint, I tend to kind of like using gravity to my favor, and every design is different, so you got to see what you got going on. If you can see, the knuckle actually just drops off just like that, so I can use gravity to my favor with the mass of the knuckle and the rotor and all. This is all heavy stuff, so what I like to do is leave everything on initially, beat it just to have that weight resting down on it, so I can use gravity to my favor. But I think that's not gonna work because it's already loose anyways, so that will not apply in this situation. Okay, so what we got here, again, this stud has to be removed. I reckon we can go ahead and start loosening these. Maybe I should get for the impact just so we can do this quicker. Yeah. So this is, I think these should be 21, the bracket. Yes sir. Yes sir. Okay, these are 18, so let me go ahead and get those tools real quick. Okay, so we're back. I got the Allen sockets so I can hold the studs, and I also got a swivel to loosen up the caliper. I'm gonna want to, since this whole knuckle is pretty much gonna come out, I do want to remove this from its natural habitat here. This is gonna be this is going to be the ABS sensor. Oh boy. Okay, come on. This is actually the same Hummer that I did that quick video a few weeks ago about the wiring repair that I had to do right here. It took forever just to get to there. So I was pretty much talking about how these troubleshooting, how this goes. It's difficult to just look at a car and say, oh, this is the problem. You got to troubleshoot. Sometimes just to end up right here, right there. So sometimes people get bent out of shape because of that. They're like, oh, you're charging so much money for this. All you did was, look at it right there. I can see it from right here. I'm like, yeah, okay. The problem is getting to the source of the problem. Fixing it sometimes not so much. I think this is loose as well, which is good for us because we don't have to beat anything. It'll just fall right out. All right. Oh man, this gets tiresome. Alright, so I'm just gonna barely leave it on there just in case something wants to dramatically fall off. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and loosen the bottom one as well. Now the question is, I do not have a wrench big enough for that. You know what, I might just be able to get away with it if I just give it some quick bursts, just like I've been doing since it's almost out. We'll play it by ear. But for right now, what I want to do is lighten the load here. That's what I want to do. Because this bad boy is heavy. It is heavy. Alright. These are the sliding pins. Now we can just slide this off and put it in a safe location, which I have no idea where that's going to be right now. Let me get a hook. Alright, I'm back with a hook. Let me see if I can just hang this right there. Beautiful. That's good. I'm kind of twisting this up a little bit. I don't like that. Oh wait, there's another little guy here that needs to come off. There we go. All right. Yeah, because this whole arm has to be replaced regardless. So, all right. So now that we're done with that, now we got to get the bracket out, which is another 21. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get with this long socket here. Let me see. Nope. 9. Negativo. Let me try a shorter socket. All right. So I got swivel and this socket. Hopefully between the two. Nice. Muy bien. Oh boy. We're gonna put this here for now. We're gonna put this booger right here. Over here. Nice. All right. So technically this is ready just to slide out. So we're good. All right. The only worrisome thing here is this guy down here. I'm hoping and praying that this will just come right on out. Let's see. Oh yeah, baby. Nice. That happens when, you know, this doesn't kind of tighten in here. The stud tends to free spin. But the tighter it is, the more you gotta beat it and fight with it. So I'm okay. I'm satisfied with the outcome. So we're gonna carefully take this out, and now this should just slide out. Alright. Come on, baby. Okay, the only thing that's really preventing it right now is the axle. Oh boy. It's getting hung up between this axle and the nut and the stud down there. There we go. There she goes. The knuckle is out. The bearing hub assembly, everything. Feels pretty good actually. Ow, my thumb got caught there. See? So now this is the guy we gotta fight with right here. Let me see. how this operates. No, we're definitely gonna have to keep this out of the way. This has to come out. Now I got a phone call, so hold on to that thought. Okay, we have returneth. All right, so these should just be some 21s. This should slide out really easy. Let's clean this up so we can take a gander. Now normally there's a snap ring here, but I don't see anywhere where there's a snap ring. Okay, so we got to make sure we put the grease fitting right here where this little detent is. Y'all remind me of that, please. So this bad boy, I guess, should go down. I don't see any snap rings or anything holding it in place. Okay, I really don't. Huh. Does it just go press fit there all the way? Even the new one doesn't look like it's got a groove or anything for a snap ring, so that's what I find kind of unusual. Alright, well, there's only one way to find out. Let's start beating on stuff. So let me try to just hit it. Okay. Did it budge? Not one bit. I got a press for it, by the way, so don't worry. I was just trying to, at the very least, give it a little shock. There. All right, let me get the press ready. So let's give it a go and see what happens. Once it starts going, it'll go. It's that initial, whatchamacallit, that's what is this, a 24? I need a 22. Let's go ahead and put the impact on there. Okay, I think that's the right adapter. Stupid thing got in the way. Okay. There we go. Yeah, this is gonna be Alright guys, so I'm back. I'm sorry the battery died on my camera. I was able to finally get this squared away, and once I found the right setup, it just came right out. So it was totally my fault. I didn't realize what I was doing, and basically what was happening is I was using the incorrect adapter, which I believe was this one, and I didn't realize that I was actually pressing up against the body of the of the ball joint instead of the arm, the control arm. So I was essentially doing nothing. I was just fighting against myself. So once I finally realized that and I got the right setup going, I was able to, which was this one actually, I was able to just and it came right on out. I used the ratchet, the big ratchet, and the C-clamp, and it came right on out. So if not, I probably would have busted the tool or something, got hurt. But luckily I figured it out before any damage was done. So now we got to put the new one in, and the same way it came out is gonna have to go in. So what I want to do is I just want to line up this grease fitting here, because it looks like you can get the little your little tool here to grease the fitting. That, at least that's what it looks like. So I'm gonna do it exactly like that, and now I can go ahead and use this tool because it's gonna press up against the body, and then I'm gonna use this, which does this number, and it's just gonna sandwich it in there, which is what should have happened from the very get-go. But again, I didn't realize that I was doing a boo-boo. It happens, it happens. So basically I just line this up, and I hope I can, am I gonna be able to get all this in there? There we go. Let me make sure I'm lined up here. I do believe I am golden there. Okay. Sure nothing gets damaged. Move this guy out of the way. All right. Now we remove the tool. And it should be pressed in. Nice. It's a beaut. It's a beaut. And now what we do, we put the grease fitting, which I don't have a little wrench for it, but it's okay. We can get it in there. It comes with a new castle nut, cotter pin, and this little guy. That should be an 8mm. There we go. We'll put that there for now. All right. So now what I like to do is I like to make these go sideways, which is just about there anyways. There we go. Just because I don't like fighting with the cotter pin hitting against anything there, so that's all it is, just a personal preference. So we got to tighten this, we got to remove and reinstall the control. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and take a quick break, get a water break, and get the rest of the parts squared away, and we'll be right back with you guys. Stay tuned. All right, so we are back. We're gonna go ahead and change this this upper control arm now, and it should be a 21mm right here. Shouldn't be too crazy. This should be the easier part here. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and lower this down out of the way for right now. There we go. Maybe I should have gotten the ratchet. All right, I'm back with the ratchet. That way we can do quick work of this here. See, this is never the issue. It's always the lower ball joint. Because you gotta fight with the whole knuckle and all that junk. And in this case, an axle. You know. Never fails. Okay, so we're back. I had a customer call. So we're just knocking this out. I already took out the nut and the nut and the whatchamacallit. Okay. Hey. So here we are. Now I just gotta. That is interesting. That is interesting and not in a good way. It should literally slide right out like the other one did. And that feels pretty solid. Where is the wrench? Yeah, right in front of me. Okay. Huh. Is something stuck here? I see some rust. I see some rust. That's never a good thing. Okay, let's take this off temporarily. Let's see if we can rotate. Because see, this part right here is supposed to be part of this guy right here, but is not. So that's gonna be our issue. I think it's moving. I think we're good. Just needs a little persuasion. If I had a little bit of ¿Qué vuelta?
Me?
Yeah.
You're recording?
Yeah.
Oh. Using violence?
A little bit.
Nice. Maybe you just gotta go a little bit on it.
Yeah. I don't want to bend this too much. Holly, do me a favor and bring me the big brass punch. Yeah, the big fat one. I'm gonna have to give it a little bit of TLC and some juice. It did budge, so that's a good thing.
The pump works?
Oh yeah, wonderfully.
Alright.
Oh, my bad.
What are you waiting for?
Yeah, I know, my bad. Man.
I'll be gone here in the next 5 minutes.
Huh?
I'll be gone here in the next 5 minutes.
Oh yeah? Okay.
I swear they looked at me and they're like, yeah, he's blue collar enough. I never want to touch another shingle in my life.
Hey.
And I got another 3 days of it.
Hey.
Or 2 days.
Or after this, you'll look back at this one day and laugh. Huh? You'll thank me one day. You'll thank me one day. All right. Ah, this is so stupid. Let me see if wedging that in there helps a little bit. And I think it did. I think it did. Yes, sir. Very, very good. Very, very good. That's good. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Yeah. Oh, boy. All right. Wipe this down a little bit. Okay. All right. So there we have that. Let's wipe this down. Okay. That's wiped down. See, this is the original adjustment from the factory. So I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it just like that. This is gonna have to get aligned regardless. Let's go ahead and put these bad boys in the wheel brush real quick. All right, so we're here at the wheel brush. Let's go ahead and give it a little cleansing. That's all. Alright, that should be good enough. Okay, so with that said, let's go ahead and pop the new arm in, which here it is, right here, nice and shiny. We're gonna stick this in there. Wait. I got a little bit of crust there. This is actually some of that undercoating stuff. I really don't like pulling a lot of that stuff out because that's a protection from rust. Even though we don't have a whole lot of that down here. Let's get this guy up in here. There we go. And now we're gonna get this guy up in here. All right. There we go. We're gonna line up these little wedges here. There we go. Okay, this one is missing, so we gotta rotate here. Okay, there we go. Let's just tap it in there. Now when you do an alignment, you remove that because obviously you can't align anything with that plastic there. Let's go ahead and put this here for now. But the alignment shop will remove it whenever it goes in for that alignment. You know what? I think I put that one in wrong. Yeah?
I hate you with every fiber of my being. I hope the other side is hella rusted and John.
That's not nice.
Huh?
That's not nice.
If I got a back up there, I'll go to you. How's it going? Has there been like anything else to get?
This lower one, but it was partially my fault.
Okay. Alright, yeah, my problem.
But we'll see. Alright, dude. Be careful.
It's really good.
Huh?
Yeah, try it. Really good.
No, I'm good for right now. Later, maybe. Okay. Alright, we're gonna put this little... Now, I like to use the original nuts, or hardware and stuff, bolts. Put this little thing here. Hopefully I'll remember to put that back in there. All that does is just covers the little nipple so rust and crap won't get to it. It's not a major ordeal if you didn't put it in there. I like to use the original nuts and screws and stuff that come with the vehicle because they're a certain size. For example, this one that was originally here is sized at an 18. This one does screw in there, but the new castle nut that comes with it, see there's a hole here for the cotter pin, is a 19. So that kind of throws everything off. I hate that, you know. I really dislike that, but it is what it is. We'll put the new stuff in there. It's not the end of the world. Comment below. Let me know if you like to put the new stuff or you rather try to keep the original in its place. Like me. Let's go ahead and wipe this down a little bit, lubricate it. Wouldn't hurt to put a little bit of anti-seize in there. As a matter of fact, I think that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I like to work as if, you know, I always like to think of the next guy when I'm working on things, you know, because the next guy may very well be me, or at least that's the goal. Because if they're not coming back to you, you're doing something wrong. So I just like, you know, to think about that when I'm putting stuff together, make it easier for the next guy. So comment below, let me know what you think. Let's get a discussion going. Alright, so this is not quite tight, but that's okay. You're not supposed to tighten this anyways until it's at right height. So I'm just gonna snug it up, and then when I let the car down, then I'll have to tighten everything. You gotta torque these down once they're okay. Now we can put this guy back on there. Let's see if it's gonna fight me the way to go in as it did going out. Alright, cause see, like I said, I got this little dance going here between axle and lower ball joint, and everything is extremely heavy. Everything. As a matter of fact, let me get these fasteners ready to go so I can just quickly put a couple threads in there so I won't fall off and land on my foot or my hand or something. Because that, my friend, is gonna be a very, very bad day indeed. Let me see, there's gotta be a nice little, okay, wow, okay, let's go back up here for now. Normally I could push this in and, you know, kind of wedge it in there, slide it in there, but either I didn't have my Wheaties this morning, or I don't know, but I don't seem to have the strength for that right now. Okay, let's go back over here. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a block of wood. I don't know if that's gonna help out any really, but at least I have something supporting. Okay, and now that that is in there, I could just there we go. One step at a time, that's all. One step at a time. Okay, there we go. One step at a time. Ooh. Alright. And now that just slides right on in there. Nice. Very, very good. Okay. All right. I've got a few threads going down here. Okay. They got a few threads going right here. All right. There we go. Okay, now we just gotta bring this little guy down into its happy home. Just like that. Alright. Put a few threads on there. Very, very good. Okay. Now we can tighten here, we can tighten here, we can tighten here. Now this is now a 27. Went from 24 to 27. Again, that's why I don't like, but and definitely didn't have a choice here in the bottom. I definitely didn't have a choice there. Let's line up the hole here. There we go. Get the cotter pin. Stick it in there. Oh, do one of these numbers here. And now with the diagonal cutters, we'll go ahead and all right, so that takes care of that. Now we tighten this bad boy right here. Whoops. Okay. One more. One more. There. Now we got this cotter pin. Stick it in there. Okay. All right. And there we have it. And now we just gotta, route everything the way, put the whatchamacallit back in. Let's go ahead and tighten this now that we're here. All right, beautiful. Now we still gotta grease up those joints there. We gotta grease up the joints, but this side is pretty much done. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a quick break here and get the grease gun. I'm gonna grease it off camera, and then we'll be right back with you to finish the putting everything back together. Stay tuned. All right, so we are back to finish this, putting everything back together. So let's pick up kind of where we left off. Let's go ahead and put this extremely heavy rotor on. I already greased the joints. This kind of goes like this. And let's go ahead and put this bracket back. These are torqued down. And when I say torque, I mean the German torque spec. Guten Tag. I don't use a whole lot of torque wrenches. There's only certain situations where I do use it. And I know some of you individuals out there might not like that, but that's how I operate it. There's some people out there that want to put a torque wrench on everything, which is true. Everything does have a torque spec. I'm not saying it doesn't, but if I start putting a torque wrench on every little screw and nut that I put my hands on, I will never get anything done around here. I can guarantee you of that. So I'm just saying. Okay, let's just put that there for now. Alright, this goes like this. Let me get my favorite lube, silicone paste. I put this stuff on everything. Yeah, I like to lubricate sliding pins and all this other good stuff, even though I'm not doing technically a brake job, but they're already out again. I always like to think of the next guy. I know there's other brake caliper slide pin lubes out there, Permatex and all that. They got the purple stuff, the orange stuff, the green stuff, the all colors of the rainbow stuff. I don't know, I feel that stuff, I'm not saying it's bad, but I have seen where they come with that, some of that stuff, and it's all dried out. Like, you know, that kind of defeats the purpose, don't you think? It like dries out and locks up, and I've never had issue with this, just the regular silicone paste stuff. Never. I've seen, you know, I've seen the other ones that, yeah, man, they just dry out for some reason. I'm not sure why, but I'm not sure, but I've seen it. I don't like it. I don't use it. I use this regular stuff. It works pretty good. No brand specific. This is just one that I found. I've used the one that comes in the yellow and black bottle. I forget what brand it is, and I've used the one with the white and light blue. I don't know what the brands is. I could care less about the brands. I just want it to work. This is just one that I picked up off eBay or something like that, because I ran out of the other stuff, and I use it a lot. So I mean, every so often I gotta buy a new bottle. This stupid thing, I don't know why, ever since I bought this, it does that. Sometimes you hit the trigger and it's just dead. It doesn't do anything. By the time I realized that, hey, something's not right, I was past the warranty. And I've had different DeWalts. I love DeWalt. I don't have nothing against DeWalt. As a matter of fact, if DeWalt, if you're listening, you should send me a new one. That's what you should do. You should send me a new one, because that one, ever since I got it, has been giving me issues. There we go. All right, so we got this routed, nothing is twisted, pinched. I got this tight, bracket is tight, sliding pin is sliding. I just got to cut these pieces off. Let me get the diagonal cutters. I'm just gonna trim these longer pieces here. That takes care of that, and this side is technically done. We are finished. All right, I just gotta put this back in its place, and now I can. Now this doesn't flop everywhere. I believe this is my guy for right here. Should be a 21 millimeter. Okay. Now I got to do the other side. But oh, come on, dude. There we go. All right. Now I got to do the other side, but obviously I'm not gonna record that because I already did one side. So I hope this was helpful to somebody. We got, look at all that play there. We got play here, we got play all the way across there. Pitman arm probably got play in it. The idler arm probably got play in it. This thing is just a mess. It really is. This is a project. This is a project. So it's gonna have its things, no doubt about it. I'm gonna try to get him to, because he's got different, all type of different. He's got the ones with the splines in the back. He's got some of these regular ones. It's just all over the place. This was a vehicle that he inherited, so he's just trying to bring it up to par. So that's why I say this is a project. There's much to do on this vehicle. Let me know if you guys are interested in seeing more of the repairs on this particular vehicle. Like I said, he inherited this vehicle. He wants to you know, kind of restore it within reason, I'm assuming. And I said I fixed this the last time. I showed a clip of that. It was all the wiring and the box was out and everything, just to fix the tail lights that stayed on all the time I was draining the battery. So the issue was right here. The wheel had turned and rubbed up against this loom here and wore right through it and cut a bunch of wires in there. I had to fix them all. So I got that. That was the first repair we did a few weeks ago. Now we're doing the ball joints and control arms. Next time we're gonna do the steering. We got to do the AC, and that's gonna take not only inside, you know, the blower motor part of it, but also maybe the compressor part of it. Maybe it's low in refrigerant, more than likely. So God knows, but that's another thing. And then he's got some body work that he needs to do on it, but that's not my expertise, so that I will not be doing. That is outside my realm of expertise. So he's gonna have to find a body shop to do that for him. But yeah, this side is done. We went ahead and put the lower ball joint, upper control arm, and lubricated them, put everything back together, and we are done. Now we're gonna go to the other side, but again, I'm gonna go ahead and do that on my own. I'm not gonna record the other side. I hope this video was I guess useful, entertaining, whatever. I'm thinking I want to do some more stuff like this, and because I do a lot of case studies. That's what I do. I do a lot of case studies, and you know, tool reviews and stuff like that sometimes. I'm working on a couple more for those. But mostly case studies. If you've been following the channel for any time, you'll see that I do a lot of, you know, when I run into some kind of interesting ordeal, I go ahead and try to put a post on it. Thinking about, I would like to do some live stuff. Tell me what you guys think about that. I would love to do some live stuff, you know, working on a car live or something and taking some questions, chatting, whatever the situation may be. So I don't know, leave a comment, let me know what you guys think. Until then, thank you for bearing with me all this time. If you made it this far, thank you so much. Please like and subscribe. We'll catch you on the next video. Ciao.